Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and today you're going to see that I'm wearing my Hellfire shirt. That does mean we're going to be doing a Hellfire update. That clutch update, I'm sure you all have been waiting with bated breath. I know I have. Most of you probably haven't, but you're going to get it anyway. The second thing we're going to do is another video afterwards where I'll still be wearing the Hellfire shirt, because here's a little trade secret. We film like multiple of these in the same day, and costume changes are a pain in the ass when all my clothes aren't at this house. So you're gonna get this shirt a couple times. It's cool, I like it anyway. That also means you're gonna notice today I was actually doing a bunch of car cleaning, so I don't have my wedding. I put a watch on. I remember to put that back on. I'm not even wearing my wedding ring, nor am I wearing my Fahlo bracelets. They're at home safe, but we are still tracking our animals. I do wear those almost all the time, and even our polar bear has come back online. So make sure and check out that in our description, and you can save 20% with Olympus 20. Right, enough of that. On to the meat and potatoes about today. So the pairing again, I mean, I guess we should kind of go back through for those of you, if you already know the story, I guess you can skip ahead unless you just want to hear it told again. But for those of you that don't know the story of the Hellfire, I'm going to share it with you because I think it's important. I'm going to show you some comparisons. This will be a little more than just our normal clutch update because we're starting to get questions answered about these animals. So it all starts with, well, I guess I should say it starts with this animal here, actually. Right here. This Angry Pants Champagne. Okay? She's a champagne. Looks like champagne, smells like champagne, acts like champagne. That's champagne. There's no sign of anything else going on in there. There's no sign of pastel in there. There's no sign of anything. Straight champagne. Now, the second time she was paired in her life, she was paired to this male over here. I don't know if I can get out because of the table. You just have to take my word for it. He's a straight Blitz male, or original Blitz male. And I know some of you are going, oh, damn, there it is. You said the second time they were paired. That means there could be retained sperm from the first time that they were paired. Well, retained sperm is always a possibility. The first time that snake was paired, it was to a known and proven single gene. How you acting today? Calico, right here. This was its first mate. So it's only ever been paired to this, which obviously has no pastel or any brightening gene or anything other than calico, and a Blitz, which I paired to many a thing and has nothing but Blitz in it. So that was the pairing, and lo and behold, out popped this. Of course you're in shed. That one's in shed. So we'll use the other one. Out popped two snakes. One of them has had babies. This one here has not, so I was going to show you the other one. But I don't want to show you one that's in shed because the coloration is important. Out popped this and a sibling, along with what you would expect with some Blitz champagnes and some Blitzes, right? But that's what was born. So we said, that's kind of like a pastel when it was a baby. And we called it pastel-like. And we kept it and her and her sister, right? So we didn't think much of it. Kind of threw them in the back burner. Just kind of they were there. Kind of grew them up. Weren't too big of a hurry. Hopefully this one actually has babies for us one day. She should, but she hasn't yet. The other one has. So let's compare that to a known pastel as adults. They're also shedding. Hey, you're not. You actually just did. Perfect. So this would be an adult pastel. Oh man, you're all kinds of pissed. To give you an idea of the difference in look. So as you can see, these pastel likes, besides being very hissy, have held their colors very well. The blushing is better. The overall look of the animal is just different, and that's been pretty consistent for us. Let me put this one back. I'll pull you out another pastel, so we're not just doing a one-to-one comparison. Over here we have a pastel that's het for clown. Hey, would you just ball up and chill? Yeah, there you go. So that way we're getting two different ones to look at. And again, het for clown. Again, you can just see. And this being het for clown actually has held its colors really nice. But again, these just look different. The color's just different. The amount of blushing is just different. The way the pattern is just different and busier. These are just kind of different. But you know, to our original eye, it wasn't so different. We said, oh my God, we got something new here. I mean, I'm not saying this is world-breaking different from a pastel. It just looked kind of like a funky pastel. So we threw it back, and we bred them, right? See what we'd get. Come on, girlie. I know you want to go home. Come on. Go on. Go on, go on. And what did we end up getting? Well, the first year we did it, we got several Hellfires, which is, by the way, what we're calling that now is Project Hellfire, and some Hellfire Blitz. Let's go play with those. Actually, which one am I going to pull out? You're a little bigger. I'm going to pull that one out. Just because. You're in shed. You look pretty good. You're not in shed. Oh. So. Here's a couple from last season. Now, what we have here is a single gene Hellfire, and this is a combo Hellfire Blitz. Okay, keep all that there, Kurt, if you can. I know you've got a camera in your hand. This is a little bit bigger, so do keep that in mind. But this is a known Pastel Blitz head exanthic. Okay, so Pastel Blitz head exanthic, Hellfire Blitz. These two snakes don't look alike at all. Now, the colors are different, the pattern's different, the amount of blushing's different. Look at the sides on this thing. Okay, that's pretty consistent how you're going to see that versus the sides on this thing. It's a night and day difference. These look like two different snakes to my eye. Two different genetics. I could pick these out if you mix 15 of them up. I could pick them out with accuracy. And to me, that's one of the ways you can always tell if you got something different. Can you pick it out with accuracy if you mixed a bunch up? And I easily could. I think anybody could. They don't look the same. So, you know, let me put these guys up. We'll leave that one out for a moment since they're running around. Oh, that's what fell over. Again. Oh, come here, you. And which one's that? Oh, that's just Pastel. You don't want to go there. You want to go here. That's Pastel Blitz cage. I say Pastel because on there we weren't marking them as Hellfire. We were still marking them as Pastel question. So again, that's a known Hellfire. So bear with me. I should have planned better. That's Super Pastel. That's not what I want to do. This is going to be similar in size, pastel pet clown. So just like we showed you over there. And again, now these look more similar than the other two I just showed you, right? They're more similar, definitely more similar. But the pattern is busier here. And just notice how much speckling you have, which has been found to be very consistent. That's not as much in this one. This has got a lot for a pastel, but it doesn't touch that. And then just the pattern is just different. You know, I could pick these two snakes out. I'd have to actually inspect these. It'd be a little more difficult. But again, this is het clown. This is het nothing. We throw that one back and find the one that's not got the het clown influence, because the het clown certainly makes it nicer and does make it more like, well, what we're dealing with. Here's one. Oh, this one is also a het, but this is het exanthic. And again, the colors are different. See the difference in the color? You know, this is holding much better, even though these are roughly the same size. This one is a little bigger for full disclosure. The blushing is just going to be different. The overall pattern wonkiness is going to be different. And again, that amount of speckling in the lower part of the pattern through there, that gravelly look, is going to be different. So these are easy to pick out when you stretch them out, especially compared to work with me, girl, or actually boy, shouldn't say girl. When you stretch these out, you can actually get a whole look at the snake. It becomes to me even easier to pick out because the pattern is so much busier through here than it is on a regular pastel. So again, we're able to start telling these differences pretty easy. I would bet if I told you anybody can mix these up and pick them out pretty easily. Like you can really stack them on top of each other. You can just really kind of see it. So we put these back. Here you go, buddy. I know. You're ready for a new home. Get out of there. So we repeated this pairing again. We actually paired both of those, and our hope was to we paired a super pastel xanthic to one, and we repeated the same pairing that produced the back to dad as well. My hope was to get both to go and to pair the pastel with the Hellfire so we could get a more definitive answer on what exactly we're dealing with, because if I use a super pastel, you know every gene has pastel in it right from the word go. So then you're going to have pastel Hellfires, and then if they look drastically different than what we would expect a super pastel to look like, there's your answer. If they look like a super pastel on steroids, we still don't really have an answer. You have to breed that back. So we were trying to get that solution. Next year we're going to flip that, so we'll have a better chance of getting that since one goes and one tends to not. Let me show you this year's babies. We'll just give you a quick update now that you kind of know what we're looking for on that clutch, which again was the Hellfire Pastel-like to a Blitz. Clutch number 24. I like this light's getting kind of crappy on me. 22, 23, 22, 24. There it is. So the first baby is right here. Now these aren't going to have much size to them yet. They've all had a meal, I do believe, but some of them haven't taken meal number 2 yet. They refused meal 2, but is that getting loose? No, it's fine. Get you some weights on these guys. But this one will be a male. It is a Blitz. And this does not have the Hellfire gene in it, okay? This is a straight Blitz male. Came out at 59 grams. I mean, you know, little bitty guy. But there you can kind of see him. Very, very busy. Very, very nice. What did you get into? But anyway, put him back in there. Did you not eat your meal? I'm going to find it in there. Is that what you're doing? Yeah. Now, number 2 is going to be a female. And this one's really cool. But it is a Hellfire Blitz. Now, it's probably one of the wonkier ones we've made, I think. And as these things age, now I want you to think about the adult I showed, and you're going to see that this doesn't have quite the same blushing. The color's a little different. So as they age, we're seeing that kind of change. This is very consistent with what I saw the first time. I think this one's going to be a really big stunner when she gets a little older. So just putting that out there, Hellfire Blitz right there. Let me get number 222403. About busted my ass on my own hose. Now this is also another Hellfire Blitz. So really cool looking snake, and again, this is going to get more dramatic with a little bit of age. Coming in at 63 grams. This one definitely had meal number 1. Did not eat meal number 2. Is what it is. But that's okay. We'll get him rolling. So there you go. Really cool looking snake. Another little female there. Really neat. Really neat. Now, this one here is going to be a straight Hellfire. So I want you to look, and you can kind of see as a baby versus a brand new pastel baby, which I'll see if I can't find you one here in a second for comparison, the difference you're going to see. This is a pretty nice Hellfire. Very wonky in the pattern. You can see I'm talking about the wonkiness, but definitely not Blitz, or I don't believe Blitz to be in there. But really cool kind of pattern and colors. They're going to be harder to pick out as babies from a standard pastel. So I have one laying around I'm pretty sure I do somewhere. You would think I would. Somewhere. There's one. I think this one's only slightly older. Did all those clutches kind of at the same time. And you can see that one's 59 grams. I think this one was like 60 something, so it's actually a little smaller. So they're virtually the same size. Now to my eye, this is clear as day. When I actually set these up, I threw a brand new Pastel in there with them. You were just going to run. You were just going to run. I wonder if you're from a calico clutch. You may actually get some calico in you. Stop running. But you can just see, to me, it's night and day. There's no question that these are different when you put them side by side. The colors are just so much better here than they are here. Just, you know, they're just better. It's like if you took this and said, I want to make it better without making it super, and you got this. They don't look like super pastels, though. Totally different look. These things are just kind of awesome. That'll give you an idea of comparison. Kurt, could you pick these two babies out if I mix them up in a bucket? Tell me which one Hellfire was.
Yes.
Pretty easy. I mean, for those that aren't sure, well, I can't mix up all of them. And the reason I can't is because then I'll have my numbers off. Because I've got them labeled. But you can take these here, set them there, mix them up for me. You mix them up, let people see it. I can't see, and I'm going to just pick it out. Super simple, because that's important to do. This is crap we don't think about before we put on a camera. So Kurt's got them all mixed up. Let me grab two snakes. Oh, there they are. Pretty simple. So that one's your Pastel. This one's your Hellfire. It's that simple. It is so easy to see. It is that quick of an acquisition when you're looking at them side by side. So put these guys back. And I am 100% certain on that, by the way. Here's number 5. Also just a straight Hellfire. I guess I didn't tell you the last one was actually a male. All the rest are going to be male, which is kind of unfortunate, and I'll explain that on Patreon. So this one's 64 grams, so he's doing pretty good. But just, again, looks just the same as the other one. Like, they're very, very consistent in what we're seeing, which also is nice and leading me to believe on what we're dealing with. I would just have shed. Someone spend no more time eating, less time shedding. But this one's probably going to be the largest one. 68. It skipped its meal this week because of the shed, but it's eaten at least once, not twice. Especially since I already went and shed once. Probably the nicest straight Hellfire in the bunch so far. Just the colors, the pattern overall. And what I mean by wonky, look how close together that is. That's very consistent. A lot of places will get just one scale of separation. You know, or maybe 2 at the most. So you're going to see that in this Hellfire line of what we're working with. Just awesome, awesome snakes. Awesome, awesome snakes. Put that one back. Let's get to the last one. Man, the minute I say that one's the best, and I pull out this one, right? I'll be blunt. It's hard to know which one's the best right now. This one's right at 58. So you can see they're all pretty consistently in the same size. These weren't very big babies. They're going to take us forever. But we got time with these, so it's not a big worry. Really nice blushing. And again, this one we have listed as just a Hellfire. We'll talk about that pattern closeness. Now this one doesn't display that as much as the other ones. But you're still going to see it. One scale there. Just a couple there. You know, I mean, it's still tight all through there, really tight there, one scale there. So you're going to have that in places, but the overall wonkiness of the pattern, you can really see the side blushing wanting to come up in this. I mean, there is a chance as this one ages, it may be just a really low expression Hellfire Blitz, but I don't think so. I think it's going to be just Hellfire. These patterns over the top are what make me wonder. Some of the way the keyholes happen, it's possible. But if it is, it's going to tell us as it ages, so no worries there. There's the belly of them. So you need to eat more, little buddy. Like all you guys feeding really well. Get some tail fat on you. Let me put this one back up. All right. Well, that might be part of why. I just saw somebody unplug something over there when they were moving around stuff on accident, so we'll fix that. I think it felt a little cool, that's why you check that shit. So, Kurt, anything you want to add about these babies, these Hellfire babies?
No.
All right. Well, what do you think that we're really working with? By the way, for the totals, we had 7 babies. We had 7 eggs, I believe. I have to go back and check egg numbers. Actually, no, I don't have it right here. Yes, we had 7 eggs. We had 7 babies hatched. We have 7 babies still today. Out of those 7 babies, we hit Hellfire on 6 of them. So our odds were really, really strong with us. We hit 2 Hellfire Blitzes, and we hit 4 straight Hellfires. So the odds on Blitz, if anything, you'd say, well, did you miss on those? Well, not really, because you'd expect 3 or 4 Blitzes total. We hit 3. We hit a single Gene Blitz and 2 Hellfire Blitzes. What we really killed on was the Hellfire itself. So really, really happy with the odds on that. Not so happy with the sex ratio, but we'll explain that on Patreon. Anything you want to add before we go?
No.
All right, guys, that's all I got. We'll catch you next time.